All right, y'all. I just rewatched the Quiet Place trilogy, and it is as good as I remember it being. Oh my goodness, this movie was so good. These movies were so good. And I was chasing that Cloverfield high. I don't care what nobody got to say. My headcanon is that these movies take place in the Cloverfield universe. That just is what it is, right? But no, literally within the first, I want to say 10 to 12 minutes of each of these movies, something happens that pulls you in. That first one, it's how eerie it is that it's so quiet, especially when they get to the scenes with the daughter, because you can hear like noises of people moving around a little bit. But as soon as you get to the daughter, who's she's deaf, nothing. Filming the movie that way to where almost every scene that included the daughter, it was straight quiet, stressed. And let me tell y'all this: what is unique to the first two movies, and especially this first one, when I watched this, I immediately said, kids is a liability. Like, I pride myself on being somebody who thinks they're going to be ready for an apocalyptic type of situation. You know what I'm saying? Like the Doomsday Planner from movie 2 of the Cloverfield universe, I ain't that crazy, but I think I could survive. I be waiting on a zombie apocalypse. I got to start accounting for kids, because the way these kids was moving, I legit screamed in the beginning. Hold on. You know what? We taking this one by one. I got to show y'all. Spoilers if you have not seen The Quiet Place. I'm going to be spoiling it, but you need to watch it. This scene right here, I was yelling at the screen when this happened. First of all, let me tell you something. I got mad respect for this man right here and this woman. Husband and wife, I got mad respect for them watching this movie. But where they lost me early on is this is a horrible formation. Horrible. I'm talking about why you got this little bitty old kid at the back of the line. Look, we already know one adult at the front of the line, second adult at the end of the formation. That's how it's done. You keep the little ones in between. So it came to no surprise, no shock when this little dummy back here, I know he's a kid, but they took that spaceship away from him and the batteries. She gave it back to him, and then he turned it on. Oh my God, y'all. The look on his face when he realized what happened, I'm surprised he didn't push his wife down, rushing to get to the kid, because you saw he almost like shoulder checked her to get over there. But like, you could see him running so hard, but at the same time, it's like one of those things where you running, but you trying to be like silent when you run, because they can't make no sounds or they getting done for. Anyways, this formation was horrible. I know that this whole movie, she was feeling terrible about herself for giving her brother that toy back, but she should not blame herself. It was definitely on the mama and daddy for coming up with this horrible, horrible formation. They should have had him in the middle. Oh my goodness. I screamed. I screamed. Anyways, I feel like I might have to do multiple videos to talk about this, because I got so much to say. But in this first movie, still on the first movie, this was another scene that was just so good, because, and also I got something to say about these people, but she's pregnant and she's at the point where she's having the baby. Oh my God, she's having the baby. Y'all, with I don't know what they call, but one of the alien things in the house, the daddy is outside the house, the rest of the kids outside the house doing what they own struggle, trying to survive. She's in the house in labor. The way she held back, and y'all, I can't, I'm stuttering. That scene where she's trying to get up or down the stairs and one of the nails in the floorboard and she steps on it. I don't know how I said this the last time about women, especially women in movies, strong. Because the way I would have screamed when my foot hit that nail, I screamed when my baby toe hit something, my pinky toe hit something, I'm gonna scream. So the fact that she stepped on the nail and kept going, hitting the tub, when she let out that primal roar, well deserved. I'm so happy that the kids set the fireworks, because she would have been out of there if not. But this was another good scene for me. This right here, this is literally what they do. The kids are liabilities. Because what you mean, he had no reason to be I don't want to say as panicked because it was a desperate situation, but my guy, you need to know to be quiet. You already know what's going on in the world. Chill out. Like, the dad should not have had to do this to him at that moment. He should have just known, you got to stay quiet. And I'm going to tell you right now, they did my boy dirty. They did him dirty. And this motion right here, that sums up all three movies, if I'm being real. You're going to see this in every one of these movies, and it just sums the movies up perfectly. A Quiet Place, keep your mouth closed. But they did him dirty. I did like his sacrifice, though, because, again, for the kids, he had to sacrifice himself, but he had just promised his wife that they had to do what they had to do, because if they can't keep their kids safe, what's the point? So, mad respect. And not only respect for protecting his kids, keep in mind, I've been kind of hating on the kids, right? But I don't want to say the whole point, but one of the things I noticed in this is that you watch them train these kids to survive in this new world, right? So, yeah, I was annoyed that the kids was making mistakes, or that they would, make a little noise when they should have been quiet. Like, they're new to this world, just like the parents, but you watch the formats, you watch the habits start to form from him making up the rules and him and the wife sticking together on certain things. Like, it starts to get ingrained into the kids how they're going to survive. And the kids' actions when they're on their own is what started to change my mind. And I'm like, okay, they starting to internalize what the dad and the mama is teaching them. Yes, let's go. So I will say, even though they did my boy dirty, he got the message across to his kids before he passed. And that's what's up. That's great. And last but not least on this first movie, we got Mama with the Shotty. Honestly, shotguns is undefeated when it comes to post-apocalyptic worlds. Like, if it's a zombie apocalypse, an alien apocalypse, like, I don't care what it is. You need a shotgun. I'm gonna have to go get me a shotgun, because this is a doomsday prepper's, like, most trusted weapon. Okay? And you see that face? Yo, the smug look on her face when she realized her daughter, technically daddy by proxy, is the one who figured out how to get these aliens straight. Boy, she was ready. That's her looking at her daughter like, yeah, go ahead and do it. I will say that was a great touch to put that, obviously that sound was their weakness, that there was a certain frequency. And I love how they had the dad, tinkering with her hearing aid, because one, like, the world's at an end now, so you can't just come by hearing aids like talking about, so he's got to work with what he got. Two, this is the worst time for your daughter not to be able to hear. You know what I'm saying? Like, she needs to know when she's making sound. So the fact that he was able to tinker around and try to make something for her to be able to hear so she could survive, but that tool that he ended up tinkering with ends up being the thing that actually causes them to hurt the aliens. It helps them fight back to survive. Even if she can't hear, it damages the aliens. So I love that tinkering part. I like to build stuff and whatnot. So that really got me. But this scene right here at the end, it was beautiful. I'm going to make a second and third part. Each of these movies got to get their own part, because I be rambling too much about this. Anyways, I will still say, at the end of this movie, I kind of was still like, kids are a liability. Even though they started to kind of get their act together, y'all, I gotta get myself in the mind space, the head space, to be like, train these kids from young on how to survive, because the mistakes that they was making, unacceptable. But they bounced back. I'm really sad. Heartbroken when the dad got took out. I'm not gonna lie. And that scream, oh my God. And then don't let me get into the old man who screamed, because you know what? I ain't gonna cuss on this app right now, but that old man was low down for that. But y'all, if you've seen A Quiet Place, watch the trilogy. Let me know how y'all feel about it. First one was good. The whole series good. I'm giving this whole series, just like Cloverfield, all 8s out of 10. All right. I'm gonna see y'all on the second part.